Hey everyone, welcome back to your favorite pirate crew. Today we are going to talk about Zoro revealing to Luffy he has Conqueror's Haki. If you would like to see more about One Piece in our channel, please leave your thumbs up and subscribe to join our pirate crew. But pirates, before we continue with the video, I ask that you already subscribe to our channel, that way you will join our pirate crew and earn a devil fruit or master your favorite Haki. It would also help our crew a lot if you leave your thumbs up on today's video, so together we can become Yonkos. Now let's continue with today's video. Roronoa Zoro is one of the characters most suspected to be able to awaken the king's Haki. It is almost certain that he will end up using this ability eventually in the story. However, one might wonder how this could happen and how much it could improve his abilities. How powerful is the king's Haki? How does one get this power? What extra abilities would a bearer, in this case Zoro, acquire by awakening his king's Haki? That's what we'll talk about in today's video. Hoku Haki is a rare form of Haki that cannot be obtained through training. Only one in several million people have this ability. This type of Haki allows the user to exert their willpower on others. It is said that one who possesses this type of Haki has the qualities of a king. House Hoku Haki is considered an extremely dangerous threat and a highly valuable asset by powerful groups such as the Navy Admirals and the Yonkou. This type of Haki grants the user the ability to dominate the wills of others. The most common use shown in the series so far is to use it to exert the user's willpower over those with weak desires and render them unconscious. While inexperienced users are restricted to simply overpowering an individual's will or blindly driving out weak-willed people around them, those with more experience can pick out weak-willed individuals in a large group and eliminate them without affecting the others. However, those with stronger wills can resist or even ignore the effects of House Hoku Haki. The ability to take someone down depends on the strength gap between the person using the Haki and the person or persons the user is trying to take down. The larger the power gap, the easier it is to knock the victim down. According to Rayleigh, although this type of Haki cannot be achieved through training, it can be improved by strengthening the user's will. It seems that after recovery, House Hoku Haki victims experience the sensation of chills coursing through their body. However, it is assumed to disappear after a short period. One can also use House Hoku Haki to destroy things, as seen by Shanks when he was able to break a part of Whitebeard's ship using his Haki. The ability can also be used even when unconscious, as shown when Luffy was able to take down his captors in Huana despite being in an unresponsive state. According to Treble, House Hoku Haki is proof that an individual possesses the qualities of a king, a candidate chosen by heaven. In fact, most people who have been shown to possess House Hoku Haki, besides Eustace Kid and the non-canon Nagiri, share a royal position or epithet or have achieved some highly respected status, which indicates their dominant role. We can and should then highlight the abilities achieved thanks to the king's Haki, the first of which is domination. House Hoku Haki can be used to temporarily dominate, control or intimidate the will of the victim. It has already been shown being used normally on animals, in the very first episodes of One Piece where Shanks bullies a king of the seas saving Luffy. Usually animals when affected by this type of Haki, become submissive to the user of the House Hoku Haki. The final effect can be with the victim losing consciousness, as was shown by Motobaro. Additionally, the Kraken Tsurumu was seen obeying Luffy's orders after being intimidated by a flash coming from him. However, on the overall degree of control House Hoku Haki users can exert over animals purely with this Haki remains unclear. Next, we also highlight incapacitation. By dominating the will of those around him to a higher degree, the House Hoku Haki user is able to knock out people and animals by making them unconscious. Whether or not the victim is incapacitated depends on the degree of willpower compared to the user. Overall, normal citizens, pirates, and ordinary sailors are more likely to give in to House Hoku Haki, while people with high willpower are less likely to give in to Haki. Incapacitation can be useful to avoid unnecessary or stressful fights. People who possess enough willpower to hold their own to House Hoku Haki users have been shown to need to stay focused to remain conscious, and although sufficiently powerful people are able to ignore the effects of incapacitation, they can still sense it being used. The greater the strength and willpower that the House Hoku Haki user possesses, the more people are able to incapacitate. House Hoku Haki users who are strong enough are often able to knock out waves of multitudes of enemies, being able to knock out most of them like Luffy did, where he knocks out 50,000 of 100,000 fishmen, or being even higher, being able to knock out even 100,000 fishmen. With training, a House Hoku Haki user may be able to control this type of Haki by being able to use it with more control by simply looking at the victim, going so far as to incapacitate a specific audience rather than affecting innocents. As mentioned before, incapacitation can also be used even if the user is knocked out, plus another example when Luffy in Huana uses this Haki after being defeated by Kaido. If used with a sufficient degree of power, the House Hoku Haki is capable of damaging inanimate objects or structures around the user. It was first demonstrated by Shanks, who used House Hoku on Moby Dick to the point that not only did he knock out some of the pirates present on the ship, but he was also able to damage the structure of the ship, which had remained almost intact since the beginning of the new era 2 decades ago. When two House Hoku users collide, they generate black rays, thin streams of black energy with cracking effects. This energy often stretches far enough to be seen from anywhere on the island where the clash is taking place. This effect was first demonstrated when Luffy and Shinjao collided in the racing coliseum. In addition, the force of a clash between House Hoku Haki will create tremor waves that will shake the surrounding area and can even throw nearby people and objects away. When Go-D, Roger and Whitebeard, two House Hoku users who are among the most powerful people who ever lived, clashed, the resulting impact shook all the flora and fauna of the island, and even exerted tremendous force on their ships on the coast. When Kaido fought Big Mom for half a day, Kaido's subordinates were extremely worried that they would destroy the fortress they were in and even the entire island of Onigashima in the course of a long battle. Furthermore, House Hoku clashes between particularly powerful individuals even resulted in a massive crack in the sky above them, having split the heavens. So far, this has been seen with Whitebeard against Shanks, Kaido against Big Mom, Roger against Whitebeard, and Kaido against Luffy. A very limited number of strong House Hoku Haki users are able to infuse their bodies and weapons with Conqueror spirit in a very similar way to Busos Hoku Haki, greatly increasing the power of their attacks. After infusing themselves with House Hoku, the Haki is emitted from the part where the reddish or purple-black rays are focused, as was seen in Roger's ace, Murakamagari, Kaido's Kanabo, Big Mom's fists, and Luffy's fists and kicks. This use of House Hoku gives an immense boost in the user's attack power. This allowed Luffy to go head-to-head with Kaido, the man known as the most powerful creature in the world. Luffy was able to attack Kaido without even touching him and still dealt a good amount of damage, while his attacks with advanced Busos Hoku Haki were a failure and didn't even deal him any damage. Luffy was also able to deflect Kaido's Kanabo with a kick, while the most he could do with his very well-trained advanced Busos Hoku Haki was to block Kanabo attacks with his arms, and even then they were sore. All advanced House Hoku Haki users are by far able to master advanced Busos Hoku Haki as well, which allows them to use both at the same time, with advanced House Hoku Haki being more effective. The advanced Busos Hoku Haki can be used to attack a target without making physical contact, thus being able to use the House Hoku infusion. However, the infusion should not be related to not making physical contact, as it is shown that the infusion can make physical contact with what they attack. From afar, Go-D, Roger, Whitebeard, Kaido, Luffy, Big Mom, Yamato, 20, and Zoro have been seen using the House Hoku Haki infusion. One of the main advantages of this form of Haki is that it can be used to knock out weak-willed people without physically hurting them, such as when Luffy used it to knock out the civilians on Fishman Island who mistakenly believed that he had kidnapped Princess Shirahoshi. It also allows the user to avoid having to fight people weaker than them by avoiding unnecessary conflict by ending a fight before it starts, such as when Luffy used it to knock out Demaro Black and the Straw Hat Falls pirates. As shown with Luffy's use in the new Fishman Pirates, this form of Haki can also be used to reduce an enemy's manpower. However, these advantages only apply to people with weak wills, as shown by Luffy's use during the Whitebeard War, while Luffy was able to take down weak-willed sailors like Django. Sailors with stronger wills like Full Body remained conscious. Another advantage is that an experienced user like Luffy can use it to tame powerful and dangerous animals, allowing the user to calm ferocious beasts like the Kraken or Fighting Bull while turning them into powerful allies. Analyzing all this information, we can be almost certain that Zoro will get the King's Haki. After all, he has great potential for it. His awakening and first use of the technique will certainly be during an epic scene, but one that could still surprise us all. When you think about it, it is expected that when someone uses Haki for the first time he will need at least a little training to be able to control his own powers. If we can take a guess, Zoro's Haki could be one of the most powerful we have ever seen, because if he alone is already able to scare his opponents with his power and aura threat, with Haki of the King things get even more absurd. With that, we could say that Luffy could become Zoro's master to learn how to control this new ability. But we know better than anyone that our Straw Hat explanation may not be very good, but maybe on the practical side things are different. But what about you? Do you think Zoro can awaken the King's Haki? Leave your opinion in the comments. That's it, my Straw Hat Pirate. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any suggestions for a video, don't forget to comment below, because I'll be reading them all as I always do. Also, don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any content from your pirate crew.